Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you.
And in the end, just flying above it all. No
Beautiful.
matter what you throw at it, flies above. And it's my metaphor as well. You know,
Absolutely.
and I
I
think
think
it's
we all
yours
can.
too.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. We all have it inside us to rise above. Certainly, the challenges that come on our life path, we do have it inside us to go to the other side of that challenge, to grow through it and go through to the other side. And before we end, if you would tell me, I know how much I owe in my life to my positive outlook in life. I owe it a lot. So much so that even when it's observed from the outside, people think I don't have challenges, right? So when we go into deeper conversations, then they say, "No way, you have been through that." So this is what the positive outlook does for me. I believe that it makes us face life in a lighter way. It doesn't eliminate challenges, right? And to me, challenges are just opportunities and blessings to grow bigger, to be a better version of me. That's how I view life. And I think positivity plays a huge part in that. And would like to hear your thoughts on positivity, because I like sharing that message a lot.
Yeah. Well, there is something called positive psychology as well, which is really helpful for a lot of people, especially people who suffer from ruminating thoughts, that they're not good enough or that they've been hurt in the past. However, I do like to balance things out. Now, it could be my Libran in me, the balancer, and I do like to have both sides. So whilst I don't know if I consider myself a positivist, because I can see both sides. I can say, oh, that's really bad. That was awful. And I can't always make something positive out of a negative. However, I think the goal is, because positivity is brilliant and it does help and it can help to heal.
Yes.
I mean, there's lots of evidence around that. And it can help you to focus differently and to overcome things and to survive in many ways. So a negative diagnosis, let's say a physical diagnosis, if you think you're going to expire or die, then those positive thoughts could come in and overtake that and help you to live healthier, be healthier. So there's a lot to be said for positivity. I just believe in the balance as well. I think that we can accept that, all right, there's, it really is scientific. It's a law of polarity and the law of cause and effect. So what is up must come down. Polarity side by side. And that's how I see, one of my favorite symbols is the yin yang. You see the two side by side, and there's masculine, feminine energy, or, positive, negative energy. I think we always have to have both. And so I do like the idea of positivity, and I definitely subscribe to it. But I think a healthy mind will see both sides and acknowledge both sides. If you see someone walking down the road just laughing to themselves, okay, so there's two scenarios there. One, they could just genuinely be happy, but I don't believe genuine happiness is always somebody laughing out loud.
Yes.
And the other scenario is that they're not very well at the moment. So
so like a mask, you mean, for some
mask.
Okay.
Or they could be mentally unwell. There could be lots of different reasons there. Or somebody could have just told them a joke as well. Perhaps they've got their earphones in. But I think if we look at positivity as having its place, like everything else, and these are just my opinions, I am very skeptical of someone who's always smiling, always laughing, everything is perfect, nothing's wrong, nothing's ever been wrong. So I'm concerned about these people
have
who
you
present
met
in that way. That's
have
not
you met yes, I know, but have you met someone like that?
Unfortunately, I have,
right?
and they have been people very new to spirituality, or they've been fake gurus. So I do come across, unfortunately, people, they're all over the place, who think that they found something, or that they may have something. And so everything is positive. They're telling everybody to just look, just do this, just look up, just laugh, just be happy, just be. Or if somebody's telling you that their parent died and they laugh. So unless the parent was abusive or there was some
they
issue,
had some disconnect.
why
But
are you
even in those
laughing?
cases, it wouldn't be laughter.
Why are you laughing? So I'm looking for the balance, and that's part of who I am. But also, you know, I don't believe, I think there's an imbalance if you're too far one way or too far the other way. I think we have to be balanced in the middle. And life is about up and down, and we're going to have polarity. We're going to have both. We have to see the up and we have to see the down.
Yes, there's no denying it. That is life. Life path isn't straight like that. It goes up and down and it curves around. But the question that I was posing here is that positivity as a choice, because we always in that situation have an option. How is something going to affect us? How are we going to see this? In that sense, I believe that a positive outlook helps a lot, rather than going down the negative spiral. So yes, excluding the extremes, you know, and certainly excluding the pretending, right? That isn't positivity. I really want to draw a line, because this is coming from somebody who is naturally positive, right? And even a difficult experience in life presents a blessing within, and you don't in that moment, obviously it hurts, and it takes a bit of time to process those emotions and feelings. But when you realize there is an opportunity within, and you then focus yourself positively, I mean, I was able to ascend in my spiritual journey because of that outlook.
It's always connected to that, you see. But you see, there's a lot of scientific research out there about the balance being more healthy mentally than the other side. So I, as a scientist, I go with that. But I see what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. But, you know, when you work with people who do have very difficult mental health challenges, the last thing that they need that's going to help them is someone saying, oh, see the positive side. You know, there are other approaches that help for very well people who don't have any challenges. Yes, but sometimes you need to let people feel what they feel.
Definitely.
And it could be negative for 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 months. Let them moan.
There is no,
they need to be down. It's their journey. So I do approach things with no judgment in that sense. If you're in a negative space, you're in a negative space.
Definitely.
And who am I to come along and say, oh, we'll start to look at it this way or that? You know, unless I'm in a therapeutic situation, of course. But I think we need to accept that people will have their way of healing. I know people who've healed as well, but they haven't used positive psychology at all. They haven't looked at things positively or anything. They've looked at it slightly, things differently. Sometimes, in my experience, they've even seeing things as, well, that's just the way it is. So we could say that's positive,
Yes,
because that's accepting that things are bad or somebody has died.
Yes.
Not positive that the person has died.
No, exactly.
But it's a good thing you've come to a place of acceptance.
So yes.
Yeah,
very, very good.
We would apply that with bereavement as well. I mean,
for sure.
You know,
for sure.
I think overall, and it's just because of my experience all these years as a psychotherapist and working on the NHS as well with lots of complex cases, I think the research is there to say, yes, positivity does help. It does work. And as you said, however, we also need to accept that different things work for different people.
Yep.
And I accept my friends, like you have used positivity. And as you say, you've come from a very positive space.
That's right.
And some people haven't. Some people have had difficult upbringings and they weren't in a positive family. And
absolutely. I think the background plays a huge part, how well practiced we are and how has that served us through life as well. Yes, so the background is there. I was not referring to particular cases, you know, and certainly not to difficult positions where people are at. Just generally, there is this tendency to go with the where, you know, how media sweeps us off with the negative, focus on the negative, because that is
absolutely
what sells.
Absolutely.
So I was just in that sense saying that we always have a choice to look towards resolutions, to believe in resolutions, to believe that the other side can be always reached.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. I just want to quickly say, I know that there's a young guy out there who's now this famous guru who has just been found to copy. So he goes to lesser known people, people who are spiritually connected.
Right.
And so they may have 10 followers, 20 followers.
Right.
And it's just been proven that he actually goes to their page and copies what they say. And now he's become hugely big.
Yeah.
But that's been exposed. So when we look at positivity, I think, well, if it weren't for him, those good messages wouldn't have reached the 10 million subscribers he has.
Yes.
However, for the person through which spirit has channeled those messages, where is their positive? So they've now got to reconcile with the issue of, was that information for me or the world? And however it's got out there in the world, through dubious practices, nonetheless, because it was stolen, intellectual property was stolen.
Right.
You've got to balance it out. I just want to give that example of looking at the positive, where it works, where it really works. And it's touched lots of people. And it doesn't even make a difference. He's been found out and people haven't unfollowed him or anything. It's
weird that, yes, it is. I can just look at things from you know, my own experience in these things. I am very open with posting everything that I have written, knowing that this isn't my property. If it wanted to come through me, this message, it doesn't belong to me. I don't publish it for myself. I publish it for other people. However they come into contact with it, whether it's through me or through somebody else, I do not mind. Right? I would rather that message, because as I said, if it's my private journal, I would have kept it private. If I have published it, it no longer belongs to me. Same with my paintings. They're going to outlive me, you see. I don't feel attachment, no belonging, no in that sense. They are part of me. Yes, they have a reflection of my soul in that moment that was created, but absolutely no claim to own them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just my view. As I said, like that's how
again, cause and effect, spiritual laws. So what would have been helpful causally to cause the effect is somebody comes to you and says, Katerina, loved what you posted. Do you mind if I repost it?
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Love your painting. Do you mind if I repaint? That's not what that person did. So
no, that is I understand that. I'm in no way I'm condoning the act of stealing from someone else. No, not consciously doing something like that. I have come across, like, if we want to share that, I don't know if I will put this part in the podcast. I have come across big names, big gurus, right? Very established, like esteemed careers. They have absolutely made it their teaching somebody's work who was published books that was 200 years ago, and I've read those books and I was like,
yes,
I can't believe it.
Absolutely.
It's fine to use it, it's fine to base it on that, but it isn't fine to say because this was already public domain. It's not okay not to say when you know what you have done, right? That's different.
That's a good example.
All I'm saying is that when I write and let it there, I let it go.
Yes,
it is
you let it go.
I really wouldn't be hurt or whatever. Praise and hatred, like, I've never had like haters come to me, but I had like people who don't like me, which is absolutely fine because I'm too positive for some people, Sha.
Shocking for me, but anyway.
Oh, definitely.
They don't know you. It's the internet, though, isn't it?
And it's no ability to actually listen and hear or to understand that I had a different background, that this is something that isn't fake. This is who I am, right? I had people who were my best friends, like in school, and for years, like one of my best friends is like, Katerina, you walk through life with rose-colored glasses, you're going to be hurt. Like, he was absolutely warning me for like years. He would write me an email. I was already living in England, and he would send me these messages until he met my younger brother, who's 4 years younger than me. And we spent time together, several hours and everything. So, and he, meeting my parents in the evening, he didn't tell us two anything, but when he was at the dinner table, he told my parents, you two deserve really recognition for how you parented these two, because he said, I have never met people, and he apologized to me for warning me not to be like this. He said, you carry on being who you are, because I saw that you two are like twins, when it comes to being open-hearted, really loving and giving, and have no, it doesn't matter when it comes back. I have no expectation. I don't need to be loved by anybody who I give my love to, right? But this is, because it isn't my love. I am who I am. I'm loved because it's, as you say, it's channeled. This is, I feel it and I give it, and it's free. There's no cost to anybody for having it, There's no repercussion. Like, I don't hold on to people. I don't, I send them with blessings if they want to go. But a lot of the time people cannot take it because they haven't faced their own truth.
Yes.
I am honest with myself.
Yes.
You think I haven't, I really have been through experiences where I thought to myself, have you behaved like a fool there, like you left yourself completely open to be kicked. And that's what happened. But I had compassion for myself. I had understanding for myself. And I worked through it, and I came the other side. Again, like, that's not going to drag me down. Sorry.
No. Misery loves company, though. So your friend was projecting onto you his thoughts. That's how he lives.
Yes.
He wanted you to live like him.
Cautious. I don't go through life
to live in fear, basically.
Yes. I have never done that. Yes, I live in love. And if you want that love, you stick with me, you're going to get it forever. If you don't, well, I am not going to drag you really with me.
Yeah, but he wanted to drag, well, I hope he doesn't say
No.
he wanted to drag you down with him.
He
and live
genuinely cares. He does. It's
yes.
not, yes, he really
people
cares.
like misery loves company, as they say. As long as we can be miserable together, no.
Yes, that's why I keep myself to my art and everything, not in big circles of friends, because they love to talk about those things that really don't move me.
Yes.
As you said, misery loves company. And every time I say how it is for me. So, it's
that's not brilliant
a popular experience, but it's.
I get it. Brilliant example. Yeah. Excellent example. When I first got into spirituality, I was a bit like the sort of positive side, but I always felt the balance too.
Yes.
Because I saw the human side of mediums. I saw racist psychics. I saw racist mediums. I've met racist people working in the helping field.
Yeah. I don't even know why am I surprised. I'm not even surprised to hear that.
No,
because
definitely. When I worked on that TV show, I definitely, and I don't care if you put this in, it's fine.
Yeah,
I did write about it on my website at one point as well. But there were many racist people who actually worked behind the scenes and racist psychics as well. Wow. So how do you help someone? Somehow that's going to eventually come through.
Yes.
So, but my thing is, I think people, if you're vulnerable, if you're seen as vulnerable, so if you're calling for a reading, then you're seen as vulnerable, then they like people with those proclivities like the vulnerability.
Yes.
But the minute you show some strength, then that's what comes out. So perhaps for you, your strength is your positivity.
Yeah, it's my faith. I'm positive because I have faith.
Right.
It's what keeps me going.
And that will be, but I always say too, I never underestimate people's ability to sense and feel things.
Yes.
So no matter how much someone is smiling, somebody can sense something. Absolutely. Now, sometimes people are wrong. Yeah. Simple as that.
Well, they might not be in tune with their own intuition, right? So
we've all met people who said, "Oh, I'm psychic. I can see this. I can see that," and they're totally wrong. Can't see a thing. Don't know a thing. Don't know anything. But I'm psychic. I could.
I love those.
And they haven't got anything. So so sometimes people are wrong, but there are people who do actually sense.
Yes.
And do actually feel things. Yes. I remember I was out with some friends once in London. This was before the lockdown. And there was one new person in the group. And somebody had said to her, "Oh, Sha's a bit psychic, just joking."
A bit, yeah.
A bit psychic, yeah. And she was like, "Oh, okay." So the waitress was carrying this big tray of drinks. And it bothered me. I know it's weird, but it bothered me, but I let it go. Anyway, after a few minutes, she came by again with another tray. And I just said under my breath, I couldn't help it. I said, "She's about to drop that tray." I just couldn't help saying it. And everybody said, "What?" And I said, "Oh, she's about to drop the tray. Cover your ears." And then the new person sort of looked at me and frowned. And then 2 seconds later, crash, bang, all the glasses just went everywhere. And I just shook my head. I just did like that. But the new person didn't know what to do or say and was a little bit afraid after that. People do become frightened of psychics. So I always like to say, I'm actually a therapist. They don't, and then they get even more afraid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny. So these things happen, and
yes,
I think for me, laughter is positive as well.
Definitely. Seeing the
Connecting,
lighter side in
seeing the
things
lighter side.
and understanding that there is always a different perspective, and
Absolutely.
everyone has is right from their own perspective.
Absolutely.
Right? That is a big, huge thing.
That's right. Absolutely right. There's a
Yes.
perspective, and because somebody may not see it my way or positively, that's fine. I can accept that, and
Yes.
and that's why I like to balance it out. But yeah, great topic though. Thank you. Really
Fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and you probably the person that this conversation about positivity went the longest.
Yeah.
Because normally people are like, nope, you can't be positive. They're saying positivity is toxic. And I'm like, hello, like I've lived 50 years. Like now you are really attacking my way of life. Right? Like this has worked for me. Yeah. You understand, this has served me well in life. This is why I advocate it.
Absolutely. You're right, Katerina. It served you well because of your consistency.
That's it.
And what I'm hearing you say is, although it served you well,
yes,
that you accept that it may not serve other people
well.
And that is balance.
Yes.
That's
yes. I should
balance.
hope that I live in balance. That's my yes. I don't know whether the aim is the right word in life, but yes, constantly being aware that there is, just because I give love, it comes with a wisdom. Yes. I do not allow myself to be abused or victimized in any circumstance. As you were saying, that there is a need to have a boundary here. And I was brought up in a healthy circumstances that respected me to make my own choices, to face my own consequences in life, and to live this way. I was allowed to choose my own path in life. So yeah, that's where it comes from. It stands on the healthy foundation, right? And as you say, I mean, I can only I have an ample capacity to understand and listen to the other side. And just because I spoke that word positivity, some people go, they bounce back. Like it really, it's like, I don't know, if somebody says Satan, some other people would not feel as bad. You know what I mean? Like when I say positivity to some people, honestly, it becomes worse than word religion or God. Right?
Yeah, exactly. But I get it. I get why they feel that way.
I know.
But it's not to do with you. And that's what they need to, that's what they need to try and get their head around. Just because you have that consistency, we all have a consistency. And so it doesn't mean that you have to be one way or the other. You have that consistency. What they need to accept and understand is it doesn't make it wrong because they haven't got.
That's right.
And sometimes if people see you in a negative light because of your positivity, that could be a reflection of what they're missing. So sometimes people may envy without realizing they could envy your ability.
Yes.
They may not be able to say, oh, I wish I could be like that.
Yeah, they take it really personally. Yes.
And that's envy. So envy and jealousy are two different things. So the envy is, I want to destroy what you have. I see what you have and I don't want you to have it. So I'm going to make you miserable because you have it. That's envy.
Right.
Jealousy would
must be some disease that isn't normal,
when
right?
You see those negative comments. The reason why I'm telling you that is because when you see any negative comments, some of them may be envy. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them may envy your ability to be positive. Now, jealousy would be, I see what you have and I wish I had it. Yeah, that's different.
That's really different, because that's a person I can talk to. You see, those people are always open to explore more. Like, tell me more. Like, how
I wish I had it. What books can you recommend? Books? How did you get that way? Yeah.
Do you know that this topic is only ever discussed between friends, so people who I already have a connection with? There is no way I would be bringing that message as openly as like this without it. But you have helped me to understand something, to maybe carry on that statement along with saying, I understand that this isn't everyone's point of view because I had this upbringing. So giving them bigger picture to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, and giving them room to actually, if they want to open up, like that, there is a possibility of carrying on the conversation.
Excellent. That's exactly why I brought it up.
You.
And from a psychotherapist's point of view, there's a lot going on there. Any negative comments that you see when people are berating, how people look, what they're saying, how they say, all of that is, a lot of it will be envy.
Yeah. So it means like they are seeing the image, something inside is missing. Yes.
That they wish they had. They feel it's unattainable to them. And so they're going to say,
That's a pity, because life presents us with these things exactly so that we can learn.
But envy's a human. You see, this is where the positive negative comes in. Envy's a human nature. It's human nature.
I don't know. I always seen admiration and inspiration in people like that. So when I saw that I didn't have that, I thought, is there a seed inside me that I could be like this?
Well, envy starts young. But that's a whole nother, we should do another podcast, because it's very deep, but it starts young. So people have envious siblings,
that's
sometimes envious parents. It starts
also dysfunction in the surrounding.
Not always a lot of dysfunction. There could be just one incident. Or there could be just one person. It depends. So sibling rivalry is another one. I will end on this topic just about the envy part, because it's deep. Is that envy can be dangerous. So envy kills. It has killed. Envy is somebody who walks along the street. They see somebody just got a brand new car. They take their key and key it. That's envy. That is envy, no doubt. So envy's dangerous. Envy are the people who mess up your lawn. You paint your garden, and somebody comes and trashes it or something. I'm just trying to think of things.
It shines a light on some things and experiences that I have come across.
Envy. Be aware, because you want to distance yourself from anyone who's presenting in a way whereby they could be envious of you. Because envy is very uncomfortable, and you will. And I have to say, true admiration is very uncomfortable as well. Really uncomfortable. So unless
I only used it again in the term that I felt was like love. It wasn't
that's different.
Obsession.
That's
like
different.
I have to.
That's it. Even obsession.
It was a pedestal. It wasn't pedestal. It was just love, just an inspiration to me that I can one day grow into being somebody like that.
Absolutely, that helps. But admiration is very different. Unless you're a narcissist, when you'll love it, and I mean clinically a narcissist, then you'll absolutely love it. But if you're just if you're not a real narcissist, then you will feel uncomfortable when people really admire you, or really, it will feel uncomfortable. But envy feels uncomfortable. Distance yourself. I wouldn't engage with people. Don't try and explain yourself away or anything. It's not going to help. It won't help, because if once somebody's envious, that's it. They may want to have their say. Fine, have your say. It's not going to impact your life. It's not going to change you, your positivity. Maybe one day they'll wake up and think, perhaps I'll get something from that. And even as you go out into the public, as we put all of our work out on to the public, it's not friends and family now who say, oh, that's nice. These are people sitting behind computers, desks with no picture in their profiles. And some of them will be very unhappy people, but my experience overall is that people genuinely want to, maybe this is my positivity coming in, people genuinely want to learn things from people and
I think so too.
and
Yeah.
be helpful and happy.
Yeah.
And some of the comments are lovely from people who say, oh, that was nice, or that was lovely, or you look lovely.
Yes. Yeah.
I think the internet gets a bad rap, and I'm a part
Yes.
of that. I
Yeah.
can
You
often
can't.
say, oh, the internet did it, but
Yeah, you can't.
overall, I think people start, not always in the womb, but usually in a spirit from a good place.
Yes.
And then things happen.
Uh-huh. Yes. Or there is at least there is that capacity inside everybody to start from that, because that is the natural kind, absolutely natural inside us. Because we see, I see myself in you, right? And the first instinct is love, isn't harm.
Yes.
To other person, isn't anything else other than love.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
I can see why we had to. I think we had to talk about positivity.
Oh my goodness.
I think that it was meant to. I think it's going to help people. Yes. And I know we're out of time now, but I think
I'm going to make 2 episodes and one just to be about positivity, because I'm even scared to cut this because it's so useful. Okay. And even though I showed up completely vulnerably here in some of my views, but it is because I want to genuinely help when I suggest to someone to be positive.
Look, I know your heart. I know you. I know your heart. And so I know that your intention is always to help, and often to educate, to help people see certain things because of some of the work that you've done. So I know that that's where you're coming from. But there will be people, as we expect, there's people who don't believe in psychology, who don't believe in mediumship. Yes. And so this is where, for me, the balance comes in.
I don't even know how to go about it, but maybe I'll tag you when I write it.
Yes, I'll read it. Just let me know when it's published.
Because it's just like, it's a big subject again, right? It's another one of those.
It's one of those things, yeah.
I think life is like that, right? So it's about labels. The reason why I could never find my community is because I don't identify with any of the labels, because guess what? I am Orthodox Christian, and I am more than that.
Yes.
Hear me out.
Absolutely.
And I am open-hearted, and I'm Serbian background, but I am more than that.
Right.
Yes. I am white, and I am more than that.
Exactly.
And anything that is less than that, I don't identify with, and I cannot accept the label of it. Exactly. So I cannot find my tribe. That hurts me. That word tribe.
Because everybody's looking for their tribe. Thank you for mentioning that.
I can't. I was thinking I was odd, but thank you for existing in my life, that I see that we are all odd in wonderful ways. We're not meant to be same, and we certainly don't fit in a box, right?
Exactly.
So labels, it's about labels, what I was going to talk about, right? And I will see how that comes out. I'm really eager to share it with you when I do it. That is
brilliant. I'm so glad you mentioned
the
so tribe thing. People are often saying, oh, I'm alone, I feel alone. Look, existentialists believe that we came into this world alone, and we're going to leave it alone.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you're alone. You may have children, a husband, a wife,
mom and dad, and
But in the end, you really are pretty much on your own. Now, some people will navigate together, and some people hang out in flocks.
Very true. Very
not
true.
Everybody will, and not everybody
very
does.
True. But that is just the beauty of life. Exactly. And seeing that, accepting that, realizing, playing with that, going with that rather than against it, will get you to where you cannot even imagine that you will get.
Exactly. But I have to say something funny here. When I was finishing my master's, we were all in this online session. This was way before lockdown or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing something, and anyway, somebody asked a question. If I channeled, I can't remember how they said, if I channeled my ancestors during the exam, is that something like that? And I was cracking up just to myself, because
Yes.
nobody was on
I love
this was before we had Zoom or Teams or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I was cracking up. And do you know, the actual professor
Mm-hmm.
had said that they don't believe in psychic. They think that people who are psychic are mentally unwell. I mean, really backwards thinking.
Yeah.
And the professor typed, yes, that's a breach. Wait, and I was like, wait, hold on. You just said you don't believe in it.
Yes.
And now it's a breach? You must believe in it if you think it's a breach.
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
It was hilarious. And
telltale.
people were typing all. It really showed to me, Katerina, how open people are, how widely spread it is about spirituality and about connection and mind, body, spirit. People weren't asking the question, the physical, concrete questions. They were asking about, oh, what about crystals? Do you believe? What about? They were asking all this, nothing to do with, oh, you know, Pearson's law or statistics or anything. They were just focused on that. It was hilarious.
Brilliant.
I don't know why I was guided to say that. I think maybe somebody needs to hear that. But
yes,
I guess we're all a dichotomy. So they're saying it doesn't exist, but if you channel your ancestors, it's a breach.
Yeah, really.
That makes sense.
Then my whole life is like, it doesn't count, because I've been guided and loved from beyond, and I know, I feel it. I don't see them, but I feel them.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't thank you enough. This has been an eye-opening conversation for me, and it's thrilling, honestly, to have this conversation with you. And if I thought I loved you in the beginning, you should just see my heart is like this big inside my chest.
The same here. I feel the same. Absolutely. I'm just grateful for our connection.
Beautiful.
And yeah, we'll be in touch.
we will be in touch, and we'll be back again, no doubt, in this space, in this
well done for all the work you're doing as well, all the fantastic work you're doing.
Thank you, and I wish you all the well in yours.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me, and hello to all your followers, your viewers.